Hi, everyone. How's it going? Dr. Frankie Bashan here. And I hope you all had, if you celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you all had a wonderful holiday. I certainly enjoyed myself having a couple days off, spending time with friends and family. I've decided in recent years that I'm actually not going to travel over the holidays just because it's so crazy. My family is on the East Coast in the New York area, and it's just rough. I would often get stuck at the airport and so on. So I thought, you know what? Why don't I uncomplicate my life and just lay low and be local, which has been really, really great. So less stress and more quality time. So that's been great. So I do hope you have taken time for yourself over the holiday and that you've been able to connect with loved ones and really engage in whatever kind of self-care fills your soul. Um, so I'm going to talk today about self-care, which is so important in relationship. Our mental health, to prioritize our mental health is really important so that we can show up entirely in a really healthy, responsible way. And it takes some effort, some work on our part, and some consideration. So hopefully you all find my topic for today helpful and informative. And if you have any reactions, responses, you want to comment, please feel free to do so. I love to read the comments, and when I can, I like to respond to them. So definitely share your thoughts, your feelings, your reactions, and so on. We want to hear them. And people often, if you're having that feeling or response, you're not the only one that's feeling that way. So please do express yourself. How to prioritize your mental health in a relationship. Very few of us feel completely copacetic at all times, especially this year in 2024. Many of us deal with some variety of mental health challenges, whether that's depression and anxiety, the fallout of abuse, or something else for that matter. It can be hard to deal with any of these in isolation as single people, but in some ways, it can be even harder to deal with them while you're actually in a relationship. We worry about how our mental health is impacting our partner or can allow our own mental health needs to be subsumed by the needs of the relationship. It can be difficult to prioritize our mental health while in a relationship, but it's not impossible. And today I want to recommend some things that I really would like for you to consider. Watch out for codependency and enmeshment. Relationships are often defined by intense closeness and intimacy, sometimes bordering into enmeshment. And I think many people at this point probably are familiar with the term of enmeshment when it's just like, right, there's an erosion of the difference between you as a separate being. Or codependency, when your emotional or psychological well-being is dependent upon the other person's. While closeness can be a support through difficult times and mental health challenges, enmeshment or codependency can actually make things much harder. In a healthy relationship, both of you support each other through the low points or personal crises, whether that's helping to pick up extra household chores or talking through difficult challenges at work. But crucially, your low points remain really your own low points. And the same goes for your partner. If a stressful situation at your partner's job is making you so distressed you can't eat or sleep, or you find that all your mental energy and focus is being expended on how you can make them feel better, you may not be centered enough in your own experience to effectively support your partner's mental health or your own. Codependency and enmeshment can lead to, paradoxically, relationship conflict around resentment or obligation, as well as isolation from others in your life and abandonment of hobbies or interests you hold on your own. While many of us grow up with social scripts that encourage the abandonment of self in order to care for others, we're actually better resourced to show up for ourselves and others if we put our own mask on first, as the in flight announcements say. Make sure you and your partner are set up for success in supporting each other. We all want our partners to come through for us when we're struggling, and it makes our problem feel 100 times worse if they don't. But none of us can read each other's minds or know each other's lived experiences exactly. If you and your partner want to be able to support each other through mental health challenges, especially If those mental health challenges are different without overlap, you have to set each other up for success. And this means communicating and setting expectations for each other when you aren't in crises. This could look like explaining what you're generally going through when you're in a difficult place with mental health, what has historically helped and what hasn't helped, or managing expectations ahead of time. Telling your partner that you don't often aren't interested in sex during a major depressive episode, but that this doesn't last forever and it's really helpful before they start worrying about your sex life broadly. It may be helpful to help educate your partner about a specific diagnosis you have and how it presents, or give them enough information to start what they can research on their own. It can feel bad or impossible to explain symptoms or what would be helpful in responding to them in the moment. Look for support outside of your partner in the form of a therapist and, of course, your friends. The most part of prioritizing your mental health is making sure it's adequately treated and supported by more than just your partner. No matter how wonderful, understanding, and accommodating your partner is, it's not healthy for either of you, for them, or any of them to be like anybody to just be your only, or maybe even your primary form of mental health support. This isn't because you're too much of a burden, but because we're designed to be supported by community, not a single person. It puts too much weight on one person. It's too hard for them to be your end all be all responsibility, right? Like to hold that responsibility is a lot. To mitigate this and to avoid codependency and enmeshment, it's worth the effort to invest in a wide range of relationships, friendships for that matter, even though that can be challenging while managing mental health. It's also more than worth it to seek out professional support in the form of a qualified, experienced therapist and possibly other resources if you like, they'll help, like a peer support group or a 12-step program. While a partner can support you emotionally and you can even help you shop, they can even help you shop for a therapist if they're up for it. A therapist can provide concrete help that can actually help alleviate or treat your mental health and support you through managing it on your own. And friends, as important as they are, they're not professionals and they don't understand. A lot of them don't understand like the complexity of mental health and what's happening for you to give you the best guidance and support. So it's great that you've got friends, but you also want to be connected to a professional who really understands how to get you to a more balanced, stable, secure, comfortable, confident place. So that's what I got for y'all today. And yeah, I hope that you are really taking good care of yourself through the holidays. Now we're moving into Christmas. Christmas is a pretty hard time of year for me. Just lots of family has passed, so it's a reminder of the loss there. And it's really cold, and the sun, for those of you who know me, I love sunlight, and the days are shortened in the winter this time of year. So that often is not great. By 5 p.m., it's dark, and I'm wishing there was more sunlight. So I do other things to cope and make sure that I'm engaging in self-care and getting through the holidays. So big hugs to everyone. Kisses. Thanks so much for tuning in. Subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I look forward to seeing you all next week.